Hello, this is a recap of an American movie called Ion Flix. A deadly virus wiped out 99% of humanity in 2011. A person named Trevor finds a cure for the virus and saves 1% of the human population. The remaining 1% consists of 5 million surviving people who now live in a city called Bregna. The premise of the movie is set in 2415. 404 years after the pandemic, the city of Bregna has changed completely. At first glance, it looked like a perfect utopian city with happy people and a better quality of life. Massive concrete walls surround the circle city to stop people from going outside the premises and potentially catching the virus. Bregna is technologically advanced and has a massive spaceship-like object levitating over the city. For the past 400 years, the Godchild dynasty has been ruling the city. However, the government hides a secret from its people. Many people vanish mysteriously and frequently, and no one knows why. Even weirder is that the white population gets strange nightmares, and the government requested to be treated. Everyone suspects that it's the government that involved in the appearance, but no one is brave enough to stand against the Godchild, except for a group of people called the Manican. Manican is an underground rebel organization that aims to get the answer to the frequent disappearance and fight against the absolute rule of the Godchilds. The protagonist of the movie, Ion Flix, is a highly skilled assassin and a warrior who works secretly with the Manicans. At the beginning of the movie, we see her walking through the streets of the beautiful city. She meets a man at the junction and the two kiss. We see that the man transfers a pill from his mouth to hers as they kiss. When the two separate and go their own way, Ion takes a spell. It's advanced telepathic technology used by the mannequins to communication with each other. By taking the pill, Ion is able to talk to the leader of the mannequins, named Handler. She provides her with a new mission to sabotage the Godchild's center, Severance facility. Later, we see Ion walks through a busy street in the city. An old man shows people a picture of his daughter, asking if someone has seen her. Ion meets her younger sister Una, and the two plans to meet for dinner that night. After her meeting with Una, she goes to the Godchild's headquarters and very softly kills the 3 guards outside. She goes further in and defeats the other guards too. They do not match Ion's fighting and spying skill. She jumped inside through the roof and sees the life every person in the city being watching through some kind of technology. Ion then plants a bug in the place and completes her mission successfully. That night, Ion is going to Una's apartment. But in her way, she sees 2 men carrying her body away. She is shocked and freezes in her tracks. Some guards brings Una's boyfriend behind her. He looks at Ion and tells her that Una's wasn't a mannequin, suggesting that she was killed for being misunderstood as a mannequin. Ion can't stop thinking about her sister at night. She pledges to take revenge on the people who got her killed. A microphone embedded permanently in her ear tells her that Handler wants to see her. She uses telepathic technology to meet the leader. She hands her new mission, the most important mission they have had yet. It is to kill the man who made the cure and chairman of the Godchild's rule, Trevor Godchild. Ion accepts the mission delightedly because she's getting a chance to kill the murderer of her sister. Handler blows her pollen from a flower and embeds Ion with the plan of the mission. Sisandra, Ion's friend and fellow member of the Manican, will help her cross the border, which is the first step of the mission. The following day, Ion and Sisandra start the plan. They run through the restricted premises of the Godchild's residence and are shot by several weapons planted on the trees. Sisandra helps Ion to get through the traps and leave her to complete the rest of the mission alone and waits outside for her. Inside the massive residence, we see Trevor Godchild talk to his brother and the co-member of the government, Oren Godchild. The two talk about a system their world is working on. Trevor is actively trying to better the said system because it harms the people certainly, but Oren is in the favor of containing the certain system even though it's hurting the people. Sometime later, Yon finds Trevor in an auditorium, practicing a speech. She comes in front of him and points her gun at him. However, before she can pull the trigger, Trevor calls her Catherine. Yon gets a flashback of two people kissing and can't seem to shoot. Someone from behind her knocks her consciousness. When she opens her eyes, she is in a cell. One of the walls becomes transparent, revealing Trevor standing on the other side. Yon asks him about calling her Catherine earlier, but Trevor doesn't tell her why he did. He claims it is good to see her again and leaves. A bird on the wall reverses, offering her food and water, but Yon suspects that the water is spiked by looking through her microscope embedded in her eyes. She takes a sample of it. She then calls on some marbles that she had spread through the facility. The marbles explode, creating an opening through which Yon runs away. Then we see Aaron and the other member of the government who aren't fond of Trevor's idea talk about Yon's escape. Aaron dismisses them all, but later meets Trevor's security, Henry. As they talk, we get to know that Aaron was the one who manipulated the mannequins and wanted to kill Trevor. He wants his brother dead and wants to do it discreetly, so his death won't track back to him. Ayan then goes to see Una's boyfriend, who tells her that the liquid she was given has a message that will be told to her when she drinks it. Ayan then drinks the liquid and Trevor talks to her in her head. He asks her why she didn't kill him earlier when she had a chance, and then he calls her to a place. Ayan rushes to go meet him. She asks him for an answer to all this, but he instead questions her why she is here, wanting her to remember the truth herself. In the heat of the moment, the two kiss. After a while, Ayan wakes up naked beside Trevor and then confused. She doesn't know what took over her earlier. She strangles him and knocks him out. Ayan then finds a secret door leading to a library. An armor suddenly latches to her and brings her to Trevor's lab. She sees that she has been performing some kind of experiment. Just then, she is confronted by Trevor's personal security and assistant Freya. Freya knows her as the assassin sent to kill her boss, so she attacked her. The woman gets into an insist fight, both equally skilled. In the end, Ayan managed to escape through a secret opening. When Trevor comes back to unconsciousness, Freya tells him that she escaped and he asks her to bring Ayan back alive. Aaron and the other officials see that Trevor and Freya have slept together. They believe that Trevor has betrayed their trust by welcoming a member of the mannequin, so they want him to dethrone him altogether. She goes back to meet Cassandra and tell her she has aborted the mission. They get into an argument, after which Ayan ties Cassandra and runs away. She sees the floating structures in the sky, through which the gold childs keep an eye on the citizen. She climbs up to reach it. Inside, she sees a stranger man controlling a strange panel. The man sees Ayan and welcomes her back. He points towards a direction and disappears, leaving a confused Ayan to do whatever she likes. She goes to the panel and realizes the device has information about everyone in the city, so she researches for her sister's name. As turns out, Una has been reborn as Sasha. Ayan's shocked. She gets her address and runs to see her sister. Meanwhile, Cassandra informs Handler about Ayan's betrayal. Handler assuming more members of the mannequins to eliminate Ayan. Trevor researches the flying objects and meets a man who happens to be the ship's keeper. After knowing she wants to see her sister, Trevor runs there too. Ayan's hold her baby sister with teary eyes. When Trevor reaches there, he finally reveals to her the truth about Bregna. When the virus first spread 400 years ago, Trevor and a group of scientists developed the cure and saved some of the world. But the cure had a terrible side effects. It made all the women infertile, so humans only had that one generation to live. However, Trevor saved them when his cloning experiment was successful. He clones the DNA of every person alive and gives them a rebirth. Every person who has been born for the past 400 years is a clone of the ones who were carried. That's why people have strange dreams. The dreams are the memories of their past life. That is also the reason the population of the place has remained 5 million for all these countries. When a person dies in the city, the ship's keeper recycles their DNA and assigns it to someone else. The citizens are unknowing to this and think they have a natural pregnancy, but in reality, the keeper of the floating ships finds a stable couple to impregnate and induce the woman with a chemical pregnancy. When they visit the doctor to see if they are pregnant, the cloned employee is blamed on her. That's why she gives birth to a clone someone who had recently died. For the past 7 generations, Trevor and Oren have cloned themselves and told their younger versions all the things they need to know. Then Trevor also tells Ian that this method is not permanent and he has been looking for a way to reinduce natural pregnancy for all these years. Turns out Una was subject to Trevor's experiment, who has successfully been pregnant naturally, but Oren killed her because he wants the cloning process to go on forever, so he can live forever. He wants to be immortal. As Ian looks at her sister, the place is attacked by Oren's man, but with Ian fighting his kill, she protects Trevor and the two manage to run away from the place. While being pursued by the man, they reach a train station and escape by boarding a train. However, Trevor has been shot. Ian quickly takes him to a nearby quiet area and takes the bullets out of his body. She peels off her skin and puts in it, healing his wounds. Trevor then claims that they have to go to his lab to collect his files on the experiment he performed on Una, so he can induce natural pregnancy again. Ian asks him about the relationship and Trevor claims that she was Katharina, his wife, 400 years ago. Oren has told Trevor that she died because of the virus, but her DNA clones were protected. Ian is beyond surprised, but they do not have much time to chat. When the two reach his lab, they see Freya dead, and all his reports has been burned. Trevor wants to run away from the city, but Ian insists on doing one last task before leaving. She wants to destroy the following chip because she believes that cloning is playing with nature. Humans are supposed to die and she doesn't want that to change anymore. But before she can shoot the ship down, Oren and his men surrounded the two. At the same time, Cassandra and her Monicans team claim at the high point to assassinate Ian. Oren then reveals to Trevor that more and more women start getting pregnant, not because of Trevor's experiment, but because they were healing from the cure side effects. So he killed them all, including Una. That's why the citizens have been disappearing mysteriously. He now plans to kill both of them and to contain the world of cloning. As they talk, Ian notices Cassandra far away. She uses telepathy technology to convince her to help them. Cassandra and her group began to shoot at the guard to save Trevor and Ian. During the shootout, Oren is injured. Cassandra's group managed to kill most of Oren's guards. However, an injured Oren shoots Cassandra and drops her off the height, killing her. In the end, Trevor and Oren come face to face. Ian shoots Oren dead when he points his gun at Trevor. Ian then gets on the ship and explodes it, destroying the DNA clones stored in it. The ship goes flying and lands harshly on the city's perimeter wall. The people see the outside world for the first time. It seems fertile and full of vegetation, a land that can be inhabitable. The movie ends as we see a glance of Ian and Trevor's life 400 years ago.